Greatness is forged in the fires of adversity. Playing the long game demands resilience. No journey to success is without its challenges and setbacks. The path is littered with obstacles, naysayers, and moments of doubt. But it's those crucible moments that true champions are born. Businesses that crumble under the pressure or abandon their long-term vision for the first sign of turbulence are destined for obscurity. But those that cultivate resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks, adapt to changing circumstances, and remain focused on the ultimate goals are the ones who forge ahead, overcome every obstacle, and ultimately reach the summit of lasting greatness. When I was working as a project manager, we had a major client who had an implementation that absolutely had to be done. And as I was going home one night, I got a call to find out that the implementation had utterly failed, and they had to go live the next day. So I called 3 people that I knew, and we went in and spent the entire night and working each bit of the data to get it done. We fixed it, implemented it, and it failed again. We went back at 3 o'clock in the morning. We sat down at the table, this long conference room, started pouring through it again. There was depression, anxiety, and none of us had really done well. But that's the time when you need to dig deep. You talk about resilience. You talk about being able to deal with the pressure and become anti-fragile. The more and more that you feel that pressure, the better you become. You're forged in fire. So we sat back, we re-looked at what was going on, and we identified 2 things that we figured out after a long look of what was going on. We worked all night. About 7:30 in the morning, we'd finished, and it actually worked. They went live at 9, thank God. It worked. At that time, I'd never been exposed to the word anti-fragile. But creating that kind of resilience is something that we need to do all the time. And I would really encourage you to take a look at a book called Antifragile, The Things That Gain from Disorder, by Nassim Nicholas Taleb. It explores the concept of antifragility, which is defined as a property or systems that increase in capability and thrive as a result of stressors, shock, volatility, noise, mistakes, and failures. The author argues that just as some things benefit from shocks, many things in life benefit from stress, disorder, and turmoil. Here's a couple of ideas that he pulls out. Please do yourself a favor and read the book. He first talks about antifragile versus robustness versus fragility. The author explains that antifragile is beyond being robust. The robust resists shocks and stays the same, while antifragile gets better. Fragile things that are susceptible to breaking under stress. So antifragile actually gets better the more stress you have. The greater the pressure, the better it is. Think about a bridge. The more weight is on top of it, the better it is. And in fact, my father was an archaeologist. We spent the first 18 years of my life in and out of Israel excavating. And we were clearing the topsoil, and they ran a bulldozer over the top to clear the topsoil, not knowing that there was a number of vaults underneath that were put together with stone. They were built in the Roman era. And this 20-ton tractor was on top of these vaults, and they did not collapse because they were anti-fragile. The more you push down, the quicker they were. The author also talks about the triad, the framework, which is fragile, robust, and anti-fragile, the categories in response to volatility. He provides examples from different fields such as economics, politics, medicine, and education to show how these properties manifest themselves in a regular way. He also talks about small is beautiful, but also efficient. He suggests that if you're going to be anti-fragile, you need to decentralize your systems so they're more capable of benefiting from the volatility compared to large centralized ones that are too slow to be able to react. Small systems can adapt and react more quickly to change and therefore are more anti-fragile. He also talks about opportunity and opportunism. Having options and flexibility provides advantages to the anti-fragile system. The ability to change course and benefit from unforeseen sources and strengths. Therefore, if you only can do it one way, it's a problem. But if you're allowed and you feel free to do it and look at it in other ways, it's much more useful. Now, we also talk about this with risk and reward. People are so afraid of risk, but they don't really understand how valuable that can be. Also, he talks about something called non-predictive decision-making. He criticized reliance on predictive models that expect something to be done. In finance, economics, he really suggests making strategies that do not depend on accuracy of forecasts, but are agile in being able to work it. He also wants people to have skin in the game. They're much more antifragile if they actually have something in it. He really emphasizes the importance of having skin in the game, personal exposure to risk, and the benefits of making those decisions. It leads to much better outcome. The author argues that disorder and stress are informative and help systems adapt and evolve. And if we don't adapt and evolve, we die. Ignoring these signals can lead to fragility of the system. Anti-Fragile Systems is rich in insights and offers comparative philosophies on how one might construct systems and make decisions. If you want to become anti-fragile, I'm going to really encourage you to take a look at this book and understand that the more pressure you're on, the better you're going to get. And with that mindset, anything can be done. What's an example of something that you've done lately that has built you up that could break you down? What is something you're proud of that has gained you insights or areas of learning which could be considered anti-fragile? Put them in the comments below and let's continue this conversation. Look forward to seeing you.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode on the Strategy Session, where we take your business from stuck to unstoppable. Here's another video I think you'd enjoy. If you found these insights valuable, remember to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell for notifications on our latest videos. Want to transform your business with expert strategies? Schedule your strategy session today by clicking the link in the description below. Remember, you're not just marketing, you're making history with Venture Gain. See you in the next video.